This is Dev Films, and you're watching a review of Madam Web.
Hello and welcome to Dev Films. We just got webbed. We saw Madam Web in cinemas just a little bit too late, but bear with us. We got our unbiased take on it.
I was not gonna go see it on Valentine's Day. I was like, I'll wait till the weekend. I got other stuff to do, you know. I gotta work. I gotta make money somehow.
It makes sense.
Sony Pictures, Marvel thing. I'm not quite sure what it is now.
Yeah, it takes place in 2003, and we're following Cassandra Webb, who's a young paramedic who's best friends with Ben Parker, played by Adam Scott, which one of the positives of the movie being...
Gotta love Adam Scott. I mean, Ben Wyatt, come on now. Parks and Rec.
I like him as a young Uncle Ben. I do buy it, and I like their friendship because Cassandra is kind of a socially awkward person because she didn't have a mother or father figure she grew up with, and therefore she will actually learn to become a bit of a mother figure in this movie to these young girls who will one day become Spider Women. And
Yes.
that's the plot.
Yeah, I think the both of us agree that sort of thing was the strongest part of the film. Let's be real here. In my personal opinion, this film, I'm totally not surprising anybody here. It is a very messy film. It is. I don't want to say it is good. It is a huge mess, in my opinion. You can tell that the edit just really screwed this film over. Such weird line deliveries, such weird plot threads, plot developments. To me, a lot didn't make sense in this film, and
There's an unevenness to it because the biggest enemy of this movie is the insecurities of the executives at Sony, who are not willing to let this be more of an intimate thriller, Final Destination movie, set in this world, and instead they're opting to go for the extravaganza at the end, where they have to match the same kind of superhero nature of the Spider-Man movies or even Marvel Studios. When it works, it is when it's more intimate and when it's more sincere. And I can see that in the middle of the movie, the best sequences being the subway scene or the diner scene, where you actually let the young women be themselves and they have good chemistry. And Cassie kind of has to save the day there, and she is confused about her situation through this Memento-esque kind of thing. And that's when the frenetic editing and camera work actually works, because there's purpose to how the camera moves and swings around.
Oh, yes.
So you can see the direction there.
Yeah,
S.J. Clarkson directed Jessica Jones episodes and Defenders, so she does know how to direct comic book stories and adaptations.
Yeah, and she for the most part, at least in those projects, I feel like she did a great job. And there are scenes here that they are a diamond, in the rough. I would say.
There are.
Those were the scenes that I was actually quite impressed by. Like, there was some pretty cool camera work once in a while, and I feel like the main villain, sometimes he was pretty menacing, actually.
Played by David's long lost brother from Il Santo Veleno.
That's right.
Santiago as Spider Person.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, if you're looking for an absolutely unhinged, really so bad it's good movie, I mean, in my opinion, this is kind of it. There is so much unhinged stuff in here that I was just looking at, just completely baffled. I was just very, very. I mean, I was never bored watching this film. I was never bored. I was always entertained because it was just so funny, and I was like, okay, we're doing this now.
But so that's when it becomes frustrating, because you can see the sincereness to it as well. Where you see
of course,
the humanity,
yes.
you see the care.
You see them trying once in a while. I mean, sometimes you can tell that we're just going through the motions here. We're just going through these lines.
Reshoots are forced down the people's throats, the creators' throats. You can tell Dakota Johnson even going I have to do this scene now.
But you can
this
see
is not what I signed on to.
Sometimes you can see that there was some effort put into there, some sincerity, some of them, trying to, build on their characters and everything. So that is what is frustrating,
It's true.
It is a very messy movie. It is a very messy film.
Yeah, and I do enjoy the idea of kind of seeing an origin of where the spider's people or the powers come from. I'm not as well versed in the mythology of the Spider-Man world as maybe Dennis is or David, but does that make sense that there would be people in Peru, in the Amazons, with these powers? I don't know. I mean, it seemed kind of interesting to me as a concept, but I don't know if it's from the comics, considering Sony has famous for changing things around, and I don't know that part, but it's on paper it was pretty interesting. I liked seeing Jose Maria Jaspic playing one of the parts, but I think some of those scenes, prologue, if the prologue was done with a little bit more, let's say, better pacing and a different kind of camera work, because my suspicion is that prologue was not meant to be a prologue and was meant to just be from the POV of Cassandra later in the movie when she enters the memory world.
Yeah, but
just,
we'll never know.
Tell.
We'll never know because
the cinematography and direction was different in that scene compared to when you get to the present or 2003 days, you know, with the different direction with cinematography, with purpose and clarity. But that opening scene did not have that, which that's why it becomes a mystery to me. How can the executives be so insecure and not let this be a strong movie with its own message and style, and not have to be in the same scale as Sam Raimi or any of those movies? You can be more intimate. It does work. Look at Joker.
Yeah.
Or The Batman.
All right. I think we've said as much as we're going to say about this film.
Yeah, and I feel we could have a different take than some people out there. I know there's a lot of negativity, but we gave this a fair chance. And we saw the actual filmmaking in the center of it. But it's just the framing around it is what makes this be an experience that is unfortunately not recommended to go out of your way to watch.
To be honest, it was a great comedy. And if I'm gonna be honest, like, going out to see it in the cinema, probably not. But, you know, go see it at home, catch it on streaming, get exceedingly drunk, and have a lot of fun with your friends.
Oh, and we'll go up on tables and dance.
Oh, yes.
I wish that would happen more in real life, though.
All right.
See you on the next review.
Woo!
Check out our review for Dune 2 coming out on February 26th.
Yeah!